The Koyenikon said that when money, it wants to stay and multiply in those hands. And Joshua Kai once said that even the smallest shift in perspective can bring about the greatest healing in your finances. Welcome to Motivational Live Show. And today we are having a very interesting subject: how to create money. And we have already in the studio my dear friend, Dawna Campbell, all the way from the United States of America. Dawna, you're welcome to the program.
Yes, and thank you so much for having me. This is a pleasure, and I get to share everything with all of you across to another continent over in Africa. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, thank you so much. And when we started the show, it was almost funny, but somehow God just helped and everything went well. So I'm so excited. So today we are dealing with how to create money. Before we go into the subject, let me ask Donna to kindly introduce herself so that my better.
Yes, absolutely. I have an international healing practice. I'm also a best-selling author and a professional speaker. And so I have shared the stage with a lot of other people, such as in the United States, people like Sharon Lecter. She had Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Mark Victor Hansen, he wrote a lot about Chicken Soup for the Soul series. And
Yes,
Bill Wallace, one of the top 10 business gurus in the world. And then I've been featured all around in different publications and magazines and networks such as Yahoo Finance, Morningstar,
okay.
Roku TV, all of those places, sharing this message about how to create money from the subconscious. But I
Hmm.
didn't start there. So, just a little bit about me and my background. I grew up in Silicon Valley during the tech era. And what was interesting about that time was that in the United States, for the income that my parents brought in, we were considered living in poverty, which meant we had government assistance, there was food stamps, there was welfare. And then the next door neighbors actually went behind stores to gather food when they threw it away to bring it over to my family. So we were, yes, we had a house, but yet it was very minimal to where I lived compared to what the rest of society looked like. But what that instilled in me was a belief around creating opportunities for myself and for other people so that we can live abundantly, we can get a good education and all of those things. And then I can take that and share my earnings with different charitable foundations, which I do give back to. And I became a financial advisor and a managing principal of an investment firm. And during that time, I was responsible for $500 million of other people's money. Now, that's a lot of money. But what that did was it brought me a lot of stress. I had a lot of worry and I had a lot of pressure. And my health broke down. And after 2 years, Western medicine couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. So I sought out natural healing and found a naturopathic doctor who shared with me that I wasn't able to digest food. And she said there was something in the outside life that I wasn't able to digest either. And what came to light was the infidelity of my marriage. So I left the relationship. And then I moved to a spiritual living community because I wanted to understand meditation and brainwave patterns and science and physics and what all of this had to do with me. And um, when I left, I went to go back into the financial services world. But even though I followed all of the money rules, I was left financially devastated. And I was a single parent raising two children at the time. So I knew that was when there was something greater. And that was when I set my path onto healing and started uncovering these secrets to really live in an abundant and prosperous life and how to do it from a place of the subconscious being in alignment rather than doing the conscious action steps. All right. I'm not too sure where he went, but I'll just share a little bit more about all of that, and hopefully he can jump back on. I don't know that we have the best internet. There we are. Perfect. I was just going to keep going until you popped back on here. All
I'm
right.
sorry about that.
So that's a little,
Yeah,
no worries. So that's a little bit about my
that's
background and how I turned to healing. Yes.
okay. So that's pretty interesting, Donna. And hey, we're talking about money, and
Yes.
many people don't have money. Many people have money, and so
Right.
it's a travesty. You mentioned that, you know, um, people are always struggling. Some want to have it more, some don't have enough.
Mhm.
It's an issue. Now, with your experience of dealing with people's money, what
Mhm.
do you say is the most common average human when it comes to money?
There is a misalignment with the thought that we think with what we feel in the heart. And it's from that misalignment that we stop ourselves from creating or having the money we ask for. So here's what happens: we hold a thought. I want to be rich and abundant. I want to create wealth. I want more money. But then that's our 10% conscious reality. But what we feel on the deep inside is, who am I? Am I enough? Am I worthy? Am I deserving to have this? And we feel a less than and a lack energy. So we might ask for it. We might have really great intentions, but if we don't feel like we are worthy of having the money, the universe is going to return to you the lack or the less than, because that's 90%. It's 90% of your energy field, and the universe is always going to return to you what you're feeling, not what you are thinking. So here's how it works: your subconscious records everything from the moment you're born to the day you exit this earth. And it records every moment in your life as a literal event. And then it records the emotions and feelings you're feeling moment by moment to those events. So when we're learning about money, or we're learning about different situations and how we grow up, feelings that get stuck to those events will create roadblocks for us to overcome. So my parents, who didn't have a lot of money according to the US standard, was embarrassed by not having money. And then when they had money, they were still embarrassed because you weren't supposed to have money. So I grew up thinking money was an embarrassment. And that's what got stuck in my subconscious. A lot of people feel frustrated, or they get worried, or they have pressure, or they feel less than. And that's what gets stuck. And that's what returns until we reprogram that part of the subconscious to accept the abundance, prosperity that we want. And when I
Wow.
was working with my clients internationally, they would say things like, I just want to know that I'm worthy, and that I'm enough, and that I matter, and I'm valued and appreciated. But in the financial planning world, those were the same words we used. Here is your net worth, meaning the total of everything you own. Here is your assets appreciated, how much they went up in value. And oh, do you have enough money for your goal over here? And if you didn't feel like you were enough inside, you didn't have enough to fund the goal on the outside. So, what is the biggest thing? It's the misalignment with how we feel to how we think. And when those two things are 100% in alignment, you have instant money creation 100% of the time.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Donna. Thank you so much. Now, I want you to know that very few people talk about money. There are
Yes.
very few speakers out there that, can help people when it comes to money. And
Hmm.
with what you are saying already, I feel that requesting, though we are live, but I'm already requesting that I'm going to connect you to some more programs, some financial programs where you are going to speak more about money, because you have a lot of experience when it comes to money. Thank you so much, Dawna.
You're welcome. That would be amazing. But yes, 25 years of looking at this and studying, that's a long time.
Yeah. So now I want to ask you this. You you talked about you have been in charge of money of Americans, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money that was under your care.
Yes.
So in that period, how were you able to survive the the uh, pressure and all of those that you faced in that period? How were you able to survive it?
Yes. What it was for me was when I realized my health and I couldn't digest food, I had a lot of stomach pain. And that was really my turning point of what was going on in my life and really opened me up to see how money was an outside energy to how you were feeling on the inside. And when I was there, I ended up writing myself a mantra that I repeated often. And I wrote, trust and you will see, believe and you will know, have faith, all is well. Follow your heart and spirit will lead you. And it was that mantra that got me through all of those hard, difficult times because I had to develop trust, faith, belief that I would be better, that money would return, that I would have great health, and that if I followed what was truly in my heart, then all of those things, everything I'm asking for, was going to return to me. And that was when I saw all healing is a matter of the heart space, including your finances, including your money. And and that's how I made it through that stress, the worry, the pressure. Yes, I ended up leaving the financial services world because I realized that was not the pathway or the pathway for me, because it just wasn't in alignment with my heart space. One of the things that happened with the investment firm was when I joined the company, they were about helping middle class America get ahead and put the small person in front and create wealth for them. And about halfway through my career, they changed to we have to answer to Wall Street. And then that was a whole different paradigm. And it wasn't what I was in alignment with. And then that was everything in my life started changing at that point. But it was all about keeping faith, trust, and belief. And now I have this whole other message that I share of how you can do this too, because I realized that it's how you feel on the inside that brings you your outside experiences.
How you feel on the insides that brings out your outside spirit. That's a powerful remark there. Now,
Wow.
many people want money, but they are trapped in greed. What do you have to say about that?
Greed is a huge, huge block because when you are wanting to hold on to everything and not share it with others, you are stopping abundance from coming to you. And
Wow.
there's envy and jealousy are also in that same category.
That's a message right there, Donna. Let
Yeah.
me come in. That's a message right there to our politicians, to our leaders, to world leaders, to politicians, to
Yeah.
those in authority. That's a message right there. That when you are involved in greed, it makes you stuck because you want to get everything and you don't care about others. So it makes
Right.
you to be stuck. Yeah.
Mhm. It does. It absolutely does because you are holding on to everything for yourself out of fear and you don't want others to have it or take it away from you. And it's all around fear. And that keeps your energy field really tight against your body and causes physical level dis-ease when that happens. There's a saying in the United States, green with envy. So greed, envy, and jealousy. And green with envy, our money here happens to be green. So it's a way to say I want it all and that I want what you have also. But it doesn't always return. You're going to have a lot of other problems when that happens, and you're not going to be able to manifest or create more money than because you don't have the ability to share in that. And that's, we're not here to covet. We're here to really make an impact in the world and to really help others. And if you hold on to it all, you're going to pay the price in the end. There's a here, let me share with you a little bit. I have it in my book called Financially Fit, and I think he froze there just for a moment there. But greed and envy and jealousy are huge blocks, and so is egotism and blame. Those are also really big blocks that we have, and avoidance as well. But jealousy is an enormous block to receiving abundance. Showing envy of another person regarding their material items, achievements, or advantages will keep you in a lack energy. Jealousy is wanting of what others have, creating a neediness inside. And this takes the energy of another person to try and fill up the void inside rather than going to our source energy, to a creator, to a God, to receive it. Greed is the opposite of jealousy. Greed is keeping and hoarding and preventing others from having it. So both of these are vices and they are equally damaging from two different points of view. So people become jealous and greedy when others throw the want of materialism, money, personal looks, or spiritual gifts. And so it results in that energy stopping. And because you didn't send out the right energy, the money energy can't come back to you. And it provides insecurity, which creates fear of inadequacy. And that's what jealousy and greed does every time. All right, I can see you.
Yeah,
So there you go. Perfect.
yeah. Is the network here? Sorry about that.
Oh, no
Next
worries.
question. My next question, Donna, is there are people that genuinely want to make money because the more money they have, the more they can be able to, express their vision, express their creativity, express the things that the universe or nature or divinity has invested in them. You need money to bring out this stuff. You need money to make the world see what you carry. So, how can these people genuinely create money?
Mm-hmm. First, it's having awareness of how you feel about it, because everything in your outside world is a reflection to what's going on your inside. So let me ask you, say you need money to create your next projects and you want you have very specific things that you want to do with it, but the money, no matter what you do, just doesn't come in. So how does that feel to you, not having the money returned to you when you've asked for it so many times? What feeling is that?
Unhappy.
Right. So if you're unhappy, is money going to be coming if you're not as happy as you could be? The chances are in the 90%, you're just going to be sending out unhappiness, and the universe is going to return unhappiness to you. So let me ask you, when you say unhappy, where do you feel it at in the body?
My heart
All right. So
or my
when was
mind.
when was the very first time you remember feeling unhappy in your heart space? And you might have been really little. What age were you? We're going to do this. We are. And watch. I'm just going to show you how this works. So how old were you? Yeah.
I can't remember exactly.
Pick an age. Were you 1, 2, 5, 7?
Maybe something like 9 years, something like that.
Okay. At age 9. So something happened, an event happened when you were 9 that left you unhappy. Tell me a story. What was that event? We're going to create money today. So what happened at age 9 that left you unhappy?
I can't remember exactly or specifically. So, but I
Okay.
just know that.
General idea. Make up a
Mm,
story, general idea.
mm,
We can use mine. At age 9, I wanted this one toy that was maybe a $1 USD, and I got told no because we didn't have the money.
mm.
So that left me in a state of not only unhappiness, but I didn't feel like I was worth what that toy cost because I was less than. That's a very, very common experience.
Yes.
So, so how would you rather feel about money for you? Not unhappy. How would you rather feel about it?
How would I rather what?
How would you rather feel? Not unhappy, but you would rather feel happy? Would you rather feel peace? Would you rather feel love? What would you rather have when you think about money? Not unhappiness, but something different. How would you like to feel about it?
Okay, I'm not hearing you very clearly. As in, how would I rather
How would
if
you
I got
like,
what I wanted?
yeah, if you got all the money that you wanted, how would you feel?
Okay. I, I'll feel good. I'll feel better. I'll feel on top of the world.
Okay.
You
So
know.
what does on top of the world feel like to you? What
Okay,
does that feel like?
I'll feel as if I'm the best. As if I can do anything. As if
Right.
I can save the world. So to say.
Right. Absolutely. So what's happening is we have an energy of unhappiness coming out, which is returning more unhappiness, but we know that we want to feel like we're on top of the world and that we can be the best that we can be to help others and share our message, right?
Yeah.
So would you like to change that today? Yes.
Yeah.
So this is one of the techniques that I teach in my programs. I'm going to ask, can I enter your space? Meaning I'm going to share in an energy space with you. Is that okay? Yes.
Yes.
And would you like to know what it feels like to be on top of the world, helping others, attracting abundance and prosperity into all areas of your life without being unhappy? Yes. Would you like that? Yes.
Sorry. Come again. Come again with the question.
Yeah. Would you like to feel like you're on top of the world, happy, being the best you can be, sharing with others without being unhappy? Would you like
Yes.
that? All
Yes.
right.
Without being unhappy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's ask your brain to reformat that. And we're going to pull out the unhappiness and we're going to let you feel what it's like to be on top of the world, attracting all the money to you. Yes?
Mhm. Yes.
All right. All right. How does your heart space feel?
It feels calm.
A little different than it was a few minutes ago, right?
Yes.
So when you think about age 9, and this is why I ask for an event, when you look at it now, how does age 9 look and feel to you now?
It makes me feel, or it looks and feel that it's maybe just one of those events that happens and is not something I should be unhappy about.
Right. Because you can have the happiness and on top of the world in that moment. So, what we just did was we put your heart space and the energy that you want to feel in that 90% to bring back to you abundance, prosperity, feeling like you're on top of the world. And we asked for the energy that got stuck in the subconscious, the unhappiness to leave. And so I teach different energy techniques on how to do this. And if for anybody that's listening, if you wanted exactly what I asked, all you have to do is mentally say yes in your mind, and the same will happen for you. So when you think about having money to create, to do the things you want to do, look forward. What does that look like for you to you now?
How it looks like to me now?
Yeah. How does it look like to you now when you think about creating money?
Create it with my mind or from my mind, something like that.
Hmm. Absolutely. Because it's all based on how we feel as an energy being. And that feeling is now more in alignment with your thought. Because at first, your thought was, I want to create money, but the energy was, I'm unhappy. So, in other words, for you to have money or to even think about having money, you would have to be unhappy, but you would get stuck in unhappy and the money would never come. And we changed it
Mm,
now. So, when you think, I want money to create with, the heart space is now more in alignment because happiness is on the inside. So, no matter if the money is there or not there, you're still going to have the happiness. But I'm going to tell you that that happiness is what creates more money coming in, and to be able to do that. And I share that in my book, Financially Fit, about how happiness is on the inside. And when we really start creating from that point of view, everything in the outside world also changes.
mm. Okay. Wow. Thank you very much, Donna. This is so engaging and is a new experience and it's powerful. I want to say thank you so much, Donna, for this awesome time that you've spent and shared with us.
I
And
would
I
like
know my audience out there, they love it. Yeah.
I would like to share a copy of my book with you. So if you send me your email address, I will send you a digital copy of it so you can read everything that we just got done talking about.
Okay. Okay. Now, I want to ask you, what about, sometimes the poverty is as a result, the poverty that people experience or face is as a result of negative habits, a lot of negative habits and all of that. Now, with this kind of practice, can one be able to overcome those negative habits that brings poverty?
Yes, because what we're doing is we are reprogramming the brain. We reprogram it from a subconscious point of view. So your day-to-day experiences, we take a look at that and what those were, and we change those experiences. We also change what your parents taught you, your grandparents taught you, anybody that taught you about money. We also look at the history patterns and the culture, and we make sure it shifts and changes there. But we're also learning on a soul level. So when we make these changes, it's changing all of the different aspects of you and what happened and what might have been in your DNA that gave you your first operating power pattern. So your brain is the fastest supercomputer out there. And it's like running a software program on a computer. Every so often, you have to update your software program. Well, if your software program is running poverty, then what we want to do is update it to a different frequency or emotion. And that's what Nikola Tesla meant when he said, if you want to know the secrets of the universe, look in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. So if the frequency is poverty, there's something better than poverty we can reprogram your subconscious with. It might be happiness, it might be kindness, it might be abundance, it might be prosperity. And so when that happens, we upgraded the software program in the subconscious to only create abundance and prosperity. And the poverty that you were learning from is no longer needed. So this works with everything. So if you have blocks or you were raised in poverty, then what would happen is we can upgrade that part of the system so it's no longer a block, and the universe will return to you the new energy. So for you, you're going to have happiness returning to you in different ways that you didn't see before than than the unhappiness, which was what was there before.
Wow. Okay. Now, how can you? Let me ask this question, and I would say it's a very personal question to me. If you are somebody that have a lot of friends, and
Mhm.
those friends are poor or middle class, and now because show me your friend, they say show me your friend, and I'll tell you who you are. So now
Mhm.
you want to change your friends. You want your friends to be among those that are rich, wealthy, doing well, and living okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So how do you make that move?
It's by the same process. When you start shifting and changing your vibration, you attract different people to you that move you up, and the people that don't shift and change in vibration fall off. So it's like you're walking up a mountain and you energetically meet somebody here and you're a match. You're a match positive and you're a match negative. And when you rise above that and you have, say, more positivity coming in on the inside, what then happens is this friend here doesn't match anymore and it will leave. But what happens is there's another friend or somebody that you meet that's a new vibrational match. And if they're here, they might bring you up a little bit as well. So we are always moving in vibration and energy, and we're fluid, and we're always matching with the people we need to match. Now, say there's a group of you that you're all friends, but you all want to move up together. So when you start shifting and changing in your internal vibration and frequency, we just need to make sure we're shifting and changing everybody so nobody is left behind. And then you'll meet the new people that match the newer level to bring you up again. And then it's just kind of a stair step ladder as you do this. And the same for your family members. They will also shift and change in vibration for the percentage of the DNA that you share. So if you share, say, 10% DNA, part of them, their 10% that you share in with the DNA, will also shift and change as well to move, because it's all about the evolution of the people and of the planet. But if there was a group of you that wanted to get together and learn how to do some of these different techniques, then I'm willing to put together a group and work with you specifically. Say if there was 4 or 5 of you and your friends who wanted to utilize these skills to teach, so we can really make an impact to the rest of the world. And it's a way that I can be of service, because it's incredibly important to me to help others as well, um, move up in the world and create the life that you are meant to live and the life that you want to have, with all of those things as well. So I'm not too sure where you went again, but it's all an evolution and a process, and to be able to move yourself energetically forward. The trick with all of this is awareness, and awareness is the key. And what happens with awareness is once you understand how you feel in the moment, then you can identify the feeling. So when you have awareness, what you want to do is understand how you feel and what that feeling is telling you. Do you have stress, worry, and frustration around money? Is it pressure? And if it is, once we have that awareness, we can then change it to something better in the subconscious. And then we just have to ask ourselves what it is that we need to identify the higher feeling. And when we do that, say we want kindness and not bitterness, then you raise in elevation, you raise in vibration, and all of that. And then your subconscious and your brain will create a new reality. And then you will be around more people who are kind and generous than you are with people who are in a different mindset, because your frequency changed. And you're back.
Yeah. Are you there? Okay.
Yeah, I
Wow.
am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's been a wonderful time sharing with you today. And I really appreciate, and my audience are so grateful. I've seen comments from Joseph, Pastor Joseph,
Yeah.
all the way from Zambia, watching the show. And also another Pastor Joseph from Nigeria, from Lagos, Nigeria, watching the show. And some other
Yeah.
persons that have made comments. I've seen comments. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank
And for those of you that will watch the replay, leave a comment for us and let us know how much this show today has impacted you. Thank you so much, Dawna, for coming for the show today. And
you.
as we
Thank you.
begin to wrap up for
Yes.
today, I want to ask one more question.
Uh-huh.
How do you empower your subconscious to be on the positive side?
Mm-hmm. The one technique that I use is to have awareness. So I set a timer on my phone to go off at strange times, like 5 hours and 15 minutes or 5 hours and 37 minutes or something like that. And then when my timer goes off, I stop whatever I'm doing and I assess how I feel and I become aware of my feelings. So that would be step one. Then the second step that I have is I identify how I feel. So if I'm doing something and I feel stress or pressure or I'm not enough, I stop and I ask myself, how would I rather feel? I would rather have happiness. I would rather be calm. I would rather be peace. So then I do this little breathing technique that I share with people. Anytime you breathe in, you're breathing in the good oxygen and the things that the body needs. And when you breathe out carbon dioxide, the toxins, the things we don't need. Well, I need peace. I don't want stress. So when I breathe in peace and I breathe out stress. And I do that for 3 to 5 minutes. And what that does is it chemically changes the body. It gives you a physiological change. You start experiencing more peace and calmness, and the stress leaves. And then I go back to my task. So, that is one thing that everybody can do to start empowering their subconscious to start becoming more positive. You might have to do it several times a day. Anytime you don't feel like you're at peace or you're are feeling good or thankful or in gratitude or appreciation, stop yourself and then do this little breathing technique because it will reframe your mind and your energy back to where you want it to go. And there's days that I've had to do this, 5, 6 times in a day until I started mastering how to really live in that abundant and prosperous state. But you can breathe in abundance and prosperity and breathe out bitterness every single time. And it's just a conscious awareness of doing that. So that's one little tip that you guys can use to start changing who you are and keeping in that more positive mindset to reprogram the subconscious.
Wow, that's a powerful one, and it's very practical. Anybody can practice it, and it's something that is good. Even the
Everybody
breathing
agrees.
technique.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the breathing technique, it's a very powerful one. It's practical. So you can go over the video again and listen to it one more time and practice it. One thing is not just hearing, but practicing what you hear. So
Mhm.
I want to say to my friends out there, the wonderful things that Dawna has shared with us today, please let's practice them. Let's practice them and let's get better. Let's go out there and create wealth. Let's go out there and make things happen. Let's go out there and bring our dreams and visions to fruition and reality. It is possible. You can do it. You can make it. And I believe that with these words that Dawna Campbell have shared with us today, we can be able to improve ourselves. It all begins with your mind, with your subconscious, with what you are thinking, with what you are meditating on. Begin to change your meditation, begin to reframe that thing. When the system, the world comes with negative, stuff for you to think about, you reframe it yourself through the power of your subconscious, and you put it in a perfect direction, in a positive direction, so that it can bring a better good to you, so that it can bring a positive good, and it can make you to be able to create possibilities out of the impossibilities. Thank you so much, Dawna, for
You
coming,
are
and thank you everyone for joining us on the program. We are going to be back again by God's grace, and thank you so much, Dawna. So we've come to the end of the show today. Or is there one more thing you'd like to say to our audience before we go?
just that mantra: trust and you will see, believe and you will know, have faith, all is well, and follow your heart because spirit will lead you.
Amen.